Hi, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. It's been a long time since I have jumped on and done anything, and probably time for the excuses on that one. Like most of us, I have used the excuse that I don't have enough time. On a plus note, lots of other things have progressed. I've spent a lot of time with the kids, prioritizing their health and their development over and above any of my own personal goals. And I've definitely thrown myself into work. Work is going really well, the professional, the corporate role. And I think there's certainly an element of imposter syndrome. There is some great content out here, and particularly on LinkedIn. You will see so much educational content, inspiring stories about people's careers, so much, that I've become a consumer of it. But at the same time, I've let that imposter sit on my shoulder and tell me that I'm not going to be as good as all this content. So why do I need to join in and start creating things? And if you're feeling like that, then I want you to know that you are not alone, that crops up all the time. Pretty much every time you step out of your comfort zone in a meeting or in any new situation and put yourself out there, your suggestion, you feel like you've perhaps been a little bit too open, too honest, too vulnerable, or outspoken, or whatever it is, it's quite common to get that imposter syndrome and that impending doom of what did you just do? You need to get back in your box. And I think too many times we pigeonhole what we should do. So we have these expectations that I should be this way, I should behave in this particular way. And some of those are cultural norms, some of those are expectations, some of those are just our perceptions from all our experiences about how other people behave, and therefore this is the norm. It's not to step out and do something. But what I wanted to create this for is not to make excuses as to why I've not been engaging in your fantastic content, or why I've not been showing up here and sharing some more stories and the podcast, because there are some other great tools that you can tap into. But I want to share how I end the new year on a high, even if I don't feel that I've achieved every goal, because I think the last couple of years is a really easy to sort of forget that we've achieved anything, really. You can almost call them write-off years, but they're not. And we do this activity with the kids every year. Before the kids, it was kind of a bit more of a loose brainstorming, jotting down, or just discussion point some years. But now we use it as an excuse to get the best colouring felt tips out, the biggest paper we can find. If you've got flip chart in your house or a roll of it, or you've got a roll of wrapping paper you've not used, or you've got an A3 sheet of paper, or you're just going to stick a bunch. I've stuck A4 sheets of paper before now together to do massive posters and things. And here's what we're going to do is I'm going to share with you something that we do as a family, which really helps to end the year on a high, to do a big reflection. And because you're actively doing something, it's kind of got this process about it that's really rewarding and really positive. So what we do is we grab a sheet of paper. So this is the one from 2020 that we had. And we divide it up into 12 boxes. Forget how many months there are. 12 boxes for the year, one for each month. You can do this however you want. If you want to go big style, you could do 52. But let's keep it simple. We do 12 boxes, one for every month. And we write in there January to December in each of the boxes for 2021. And what you do is you get together and you try to think of, and this will happen in a really random order, you try to think of all the things that you did, all the things that you celebrated, all the things that you tried or worked on during each of those months or launched. So this is as I say, we've not finished our 2021 one yet. It's still on the living room carpet. My son is happily drawing away some Sonic picture as celebration for something that happened in his life last year. But January to December, we have things. So during the pandemic, we were renovating our house, and the pandemic year 2020 was supposed to be the final year of the renovations. Anybody who was doing any building work that year knows that building materials were hard to come by. And if you could get them, they were expensive. So any budget went out of the window, and any plan of when things would be done in what order kind of went out the window. But in the run up to 2020, we actually got watertight that Christmas, the December. And then we've got here in the February, we did some plasterboarding. It looks like we got a new wooden floor down and moved into the living space in May, and the kids helped with that. And a new kitchen. I've got here that we built a rocket. I remember we had these huge cardboard packaging from the kitchen, and we just sort of thought, well, what do we do with it? We were in lockdown, how do we have fun with it? And the kids, we built a rocket with them, and they basically coloured it for probably 2 months afterwards. So Sebi remembered that one. We went to Delamere in search of the Gruffalo. We made Mr. Mem pumpkins. That year, I also did the Empowered Leaders in Tech meetups in the evening, and we had some leadership sessions that we delivered. So a really big year, 2020. So on reflection, you can look back and say, oh, what a waste of year. We couldn't go on holiday. We couldn't do this. We couldn't do that. But the reality is you probably did so much. So I urge you, grab yourself the biggest piece of paper you can find, whatever it is, out the packaging, out the bin that you had from Christmas or whatever it is. Get your best felt tips out and just have fun with this. January to December, what did you do for each month? Because you're going to answer these 3 questions. This is how you really reflect and end the year on a high, really appreciative, and move forward into the next year. So the first question is, what are you really grateful for? And you probably look at your 2021 summary of the year, and you'll probably find 20 things to be grateful for. So I really have a reflection, because we know that gratitude is linked to happiness, and that has got to be the goal for any one of us. You know, if we can grow up and be happy and healthy. The second question is, what did you try or do that you are so proud of? And last year, when I started those networking events, my biggest fear was nobody would show up. I had 100 ladies sign up to join the Empowered Leaders in Tech networking. And the first night, I think we had 7 people join. And I remember thinking, wow, 7 people turned up. But I remember the second time I did it thinking it was 2 minutes past the hour and nobody had shown up. What if nobody shows up? And eventually people started to join and join the group. And then compliments came about the timing was great. They just got their kids to bed. We were grabbing a cup of tea and sitting together. We started to share all sorts of things. So that was something that I was really proud of, and that I tried and we did and we worked together on. What is it that you've done this year that you are really proud of? Maybe it's a qualification, a course, a job interview you went for and you haven't been to one for ages, or you applied for something, or perhaps you've really started to think about trying something new. And then your third and final question to summarize this year, always do this one, because it's as much about taking on new things as it is about taking away the old things. So here's one thing you're going to do next week. You're going to stockpile. You're going to get a basket and start adding in new things you're going to do. You know, I think my list already, has got about 20 things on it, which we know is completely unrealistic. And by February, we'll have given up on almost all of them, because we need to stack one new habit at a time. So rather than let's fill our basket with new things, let's have a think about what isn't serving us. What are we going to ditch that isn't serving us? So number 3, what can you get rid of? It might be that you've agreed to do something, organize something that you don't enjoy, you're no good at, and your heart's really not in it. It's not helping anything. Perhaps it's Netflix. Every night you've got into the habit, the routine of sitting down and binging on Netflix. So it's no longer a Saturday night treat to watch a film or a series of your choice on there. It's now just everyday routine. But you're wasting 3 hours a night sitting at Netflix. Perhaps it's scrolling through your social media in the morning. Maybe you know that you pick up your phone and you just get engrossed in social media or negative news about the pandemic or something that irates you. It makes you angry. It makes you frustrated. It makes you start to compare yourself with others. So you get out of bed and you're not on the right frame of mind. So that mindset is already completely destroyed by the first action of the day. Can you delete the app? Can you have a new rule where you don't pick up your phone till 10 or 11 in the morning? Can you have another rule that says, I only go on social media if I'm looking for something specific or want to post something or share something or find something? Can I only go on the news if there's a particular type of news article I'm seeking out? Maybe it's the weather. Maybe you turn up at your desk in the morning and you do what so many of us do, and I've done for many years, and I have to stop myself. Even now, I still have to stop myself. You open up your email and you immediately become engrossed in other people's urgent to-do lists. You're not focusing on your goals and tasks and plans or your priorities. You're just reacting to everybody else's urgent, unprepared to-do list. How can you ditch something that isn't serving you this year? And with that, we'll go into 2022 starting to think about what our real goals are, what our real habits are going to be, and what word is going to describe how we would like to go into 2022. For now, have a fantastic new year, folks, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.